Hi, Firmi. Hi. Today I'm going to show you how to develop user services in Spring Boot. Okay. So for this, first of all, we need to create and develop a database in MySQL. In this task, I'm using IntelliJ IDEA. I have Ultimate Edition and MySQL Workbench, and its version is 8.0. Okay, so this is workbench, and I already created a schema named shop nonstop. In the schema, I have a two table named user count and users. In the user count, for this user services in Spring Boot, I am using this table user count, and in this table I have columns ID, email, password, first name, and last name. Currently, I have only one credentials in this table, so let's delete it. Zero, nine, finish. Now, okay. So, creating a table is very easy in the MySQL. You can just right click on create table and select create table, enter the table name, and here you have to enter the name of the column, how many columns you want. If let's suppose table ID, and when you click on the next row, it will convert in the column next column. So you can enter the column name. Okay, first name means f name, and click on apply. It's a review of table that you are going to create. Just click on apply, and it will execute it successfully, and click on finish. Now you can see your table is here and created. These two columns are in this table that you entered. So we don't need this table. I just show you a demo how to create a table, and so I'm going to drop it. Now the table dropped. Now come to the our schema. So this is a diagram that I create for you. It's a very simple and short. Uh, the users. Okay. Now look. This is this is our PC. Okay. Our PC send a request to the local host. For in our case, we are just doing this all task on a local host. Okay, so that's why there is a local host word. If you have any domain, then the domain name will write here, and with colon it and the part of the domain on which your Apache server or your Spring Boot application is running and accepting your connections. When the PC send a request to this localhost Apache server, the request is handled by first of all with controller, the controller class. Okay, in our task, our controller class named app controller. Okay, app controller, and in the app controller we have defined a set of methods like a empty URL point, and get map means a slash registered URL slash process registered URL slash users. Okay, Then this app controller uses the services name user services. The user services, what is user services? In this task, we have a user service here in services package. In the user services, I auto void the user repository. First of all, from this and this class user services uses a user repository, which is a basically interface, and it's extend the jpa repository class, which is a spring boot class. This class is here repository. In the repository, look, this is our interface of user repository. Extend the jpa repository. The jpa repository provide us a basic CRUD operations methods, which is already developed by the spring boot framework. I also explain the user services and user repository. And user repository is created using the user model. So what is the model? Basically, we map database tables into a Java object in the shape of models. And models are here in the model package users. This is a model of our database table. The table name of the class, you can set any type of the name, but you have to mention first table name is equal to user count. For this, this is user count is basically our same name is just like just as we have in our database table. Look, it's also showing your documentation belong to this username. It's showing create table and id, auto increment, primary key, email, password, first name and last name. You will remember that these all columns are same to same like our database. Look, like this columns, okay, because it's related to each other. It's a connected, it is a connected. And here I annotated with the id because the id of the user is primary, and um, primary key, the generated value strategy, I expected the identity. It means that it's auto incremented. And the add column and annotation name, email, here you have to enter the name and equal to name of the column in which name of the column of the table in the database. And also I told I annotated and I annotate with nullable, that it in this field, this column can contain a null value or not. Then I equal to false, it means it cannot contain a null value. Unique is equal to true, it means the all the values in this column must be unique. Length of the column is 45. Email, okay, and same annotation required for this column. Just I escape the I skip the unique and unique annotation, because we don't need a password to unique, because email have to unique. The password can match, can duplicate the first name and the last name. And here are the getter setter to get these fields. Basically, it's a concept. Getter setter is a concept relating to the encapsulation in the database. Sorry, encapsulation in the Java programming. Then this model is mapped to the our database. So first our request goes to this local server. The local server call the controller class. The controller class, and the control class search which url is hit, or which URL is passed. It handle the request according to the URL pass and go to in the specified URL method. In the method, it will call a user services method, that what operation you are going to use. Like if you call to register, if you call a registered URL, then it will show registration form